Welcome to the Festival of Storytellers. I thank everybody that's involved with this process because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers.
Experience is not about the publisher, it is about us, the authors.
Hi, I'm Jill Fandrich, and I am the author of Elevate Your Mind to Success. Success is elemental. Who connects your dots? Medically speaking, who connects your dots? Students, who connects your dots? COVID-19 prevention and other disease prevention. Parents, COVID-19 prevention. And the missing variable soon to be written. Yesterday, we focused on information from my book, Elevate Your Mind to Success. And the main topic we spoke about was positive thinking. And we discussed the benefits of positive thinking as well as the negative consequences of negative thinking. And we discussed mindfulness and the law of the conservation of energy and the difference between high frequency energy and low dense energy. Hello, Monique. Thank you for joining us today. I want to welcome the audience. Thank you for all being here. I love having you here. Yesterday, I received a wonderful question from Julia Valentina that I never got to answer. And she said after exploring my website, which is www.abookintime.net, that she wondered out of everything I had on there, why I chose the topic that I did. And that topic being positive thinking. That is a great question. And the reason I did is a lot of what I have written about here are success strategies and leadership skills, and they all require positive thinking. Everybody has their own definition of what success is to them and what they're looking for in success, whether it's in a personal or social type of setting or a professional setting. It could be financial success. It could be spiritual success. So we're all looking for something different in our own definition of success. But a key factor in all of it is positive thinking. So that is why I went with positive thinking. Plus, it is the main element in my book, Elevate Your Mind to Success. Hello. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so happy to have you all here. And since my website was brought up, www.abookintime.net, I will discuss just a few of the categories that are on there because I do have a wide realm of topics on there, and I can see why Julia asked that question. I have two different sets of blogs on there, and one is a Book in Time blog, and that deals with leadership skills and character qualities And oh, thank you, Jennifer. It's so nice to see you. Or I wish I could see you, but it's nice to hear from you today. I'm happy you're here. And in this Book and Time blog, I discuss those qualities there, and I even discuss my books and even do a few book reviews. I love to read mysteries, so I have a mystery in there too that I read, and I dream of writing one someday. I am so impressed by anyone who can write a mystery. That is a very complicated topic to get all the right aspects in there, but someday I'm going to strive for that goal. But I also have another section in the website called The Natural Pharmacist, where I use my background as a pharmacist. Oh, thank you. That is so kind of you to say that. I discuss different elements of the medical background. I get into building your natural immunity, and your body is your best defense against diseases. So building up your natural immunity. Out of topic, but you have such a soothing voice. Oh, thank you. That is so kind to say. My brother is in radio, and he has an amazing voice. And I always thought I had a weak voice, and I avoided public speaking because I never liked it. But I really appreciate you saying that. That's very encouraging. And with the medical aspect, I talk about different disease states such as Alzheimer's and pain management and wound healing. And I have a strong desire to help people, give them suggestions in some way with natural products, natural immunity. I don't talk about any prescription in there, but sometimes there is a time and a place for that. But I just look at a natural aspect to maybe help people in a way just naturally that they can do on their own. Obviously, I would love for you to have the healthcare professionals' advice, but I do put recommendations in there. So I do have that whole aspect of healthcare in my website, and a lot about detoxification. I'm a true believer of detoxification. So I have a wide realm in there. But today I'm going to go back and focus on Elevate Your Mind to Success. And this is the last day for this book. So please ask any questions you have about Elevate Your Mind to Success for today. I'll start with a category of obstacles or challenges to positive thinking, because we can talk all we want about positive thinking, but let's face it, there's lots of challenges and obstacles out there every day of our lives that come in our way to always being a positive thinker. So if you have any questions or comments right now about Elevate Your Mind to Success, please feel free to write them so I can see your questions and hopefully come up with some good answers for you. But some of the obstacles, we'd even talked about yesterday, mental clutter. Mental clutter is a big obstacle to a positive mindset. And this happens with the different things that happen throughout our day. They just pile up and pile up. And I say it's almost like they're sticky. They just keep building on top of each other. I love that your spiritual perspective in your book. After all, the success comes from God. Amen. Thank you very much. I appreciate that comment in there. And I'm with you all the way on that one. So the clutter just constantly builds up. And if you don't remove it, it stays there. It's not going to go anywhere. So mental clutter is a big factor in a block to your positive mindset. And even physical clutter. I mean, look at your surroundings. What's around you? Do you have your desk all piled up? Is there just clutter all around you? Oftentimes when we see physical clutter, that leads to mental clutter too. Thank you very much. I appreciate the comments. And it often helps to, I don't want to give away some of the reasons and how we clear this clutter, but I just want us all to be aware that clutter does block some of the positive mindsets. So now we have mental clutter and we have physical clutter, but also a lack of focus. Think about how focused you are. If your mind is all over the place, sometimes that in itself is a type of clutter. It's hard to stay in a positive mindset if little things just keep like a squirrel, like how dogs are. You just get torn away from what you're focusing on so easily. So a lack of focus is often a problem in maintaining a positive mindset. So please, if you have any questions, I'm looking for some nice questions here to help answer here about my book. If you have anything, let me know. And sometimes you can get into a state of complacency. You don't realize it, but you're doing the same things over and over, and that's even the definition of insanity. You might be expecting different results, but if you keep doing the same thing over and over, that mindset might not change. What about hopelessness? I think it's common for people to not strive for anything with fear of failure, even before starting. Oh, that is a wonderful question, Cassandra. Thank you for asking that. So hopelessness, even the fear aspect of it. Fear is, if you think of the acronym for fear, false events appearing real. Is it really real? What is the fear? Because oftentimes it's something that hasn't even happened yet, but our minds spend all this time building up something that may not even be there. And that can lead to hopelessness. If you really break it down to what is the source of the hopelessness, what is causing it, and look at each aspect of it, and as I mentioned yesterday, challenge it. Find out why. Why do I feel this way? Is there a location where you certainly feel this way that puts you in a different mindset? Sometimes your environment, the things around you. Is there a certain time of day, or try to get to the base of what advice for a pessimistic person? Ooh, that's a good one too. So get to the base of the hopelessness, and just challenge why that feeling comes about, and think of the definition of fear, or even the acronym of fear. Is it really real? And try to replace those thoughts. Look at positive things and focus on the positive things. So what advice for a pessimistic person? That can go a long way. Some people just choose to be pessimistic, and if you're speaking of somebody else, that can be very challenging to get to another person. Let's say it's yourself. Then that is going to the basis of why are you feeling that way? Is there a person that you're allowing to make you feel that way? Is there a place or a time frame? Try to figure out why you're feeling that way, and start focusing on things like gratitude, forgiveness. If you break down to where it's coming from and start replacing with positive things, you almost have to force yourself sometimes to start focusing on really look at all you have to be grateful for. Just look outside. You see the sunshine. You see the flowers. You see the trees and the blue sky and the green grass. There are some of the vibrant colors that we've been blessed with. Start focusing on gratitude for all the things that you do have in your life. And if you're not where you want to be, just focus on making a change and make it that way. And also just gratitude, and start praising for the things that you have. Praise others for the things that you see them do. And just focus on those good things and not the bad things. If you keep focusing on the bad things, they're heavy, they're dense, they're sticky, they're going to stay in your mind. And it can be very challenging to stop focusing on them because of muscle memory. Our brains just want to go back to where they've been. So we've got to make that where they've been a lot better. Make that the positive thing that you go back to. And another huge thing is serving. When you serve others, thank you so much. Agreed. Success is such a wide concept, but I'm glad you're getting into detail. Oh, thank you very much. And when you serve others, it's very difficult not to feel rewarded. I remember watching a show once where the goal of the person was to do something nice, but not to get anything back in return. And it ended up being impossible, because when you do something nice, you feel so good. And then that's your reward right there. So even just by serving others, you lighten up on your own. Just a smile to somebody else, or helping them do something that is almost nothing to you. It just doesn't take much to be able to find the time to serve and to help others in some kind of a way. And what a blessing you get in return for that. Just absolutely amazing. Let's see. Reginald commented, how do you condition yourself in reaching success? How do I condition? Well, that was the premise of the book, Elevate Your Mind to Success. And by that, I realized that my automatic reactions weren't always positive or in a successful mindset. I thought, I'm where I'm at and that's as far as I can go. I tried. And then when I realized that that's because that's where I had programmed my mind to be content, which content is a very good thing. But I allowed myself to stay there, and you can be content. But if you want to go further, which I did want to go further, then you need to make changes too. So it was up to me to find out the source of where my mind was and the thoughts that were in there, and to take the time to reprogram it with more success, with more positive things, with more drive, more determination. And that was where I started, was by the awareness of where my mind was. And I agreed with myself that I was not where I wanted to be. And I knew I could go further. So it was about me reprogramming my mind in a positive way and in a successful way. And success, in my definition, to go ahead and move forward in that direction then. Does your book cover about suffering and hope to cope with them? As far as suffering, maybe it would be more considered in the obstacles. And if I'm not exactly answering your question, please let me know. But as far as suffering, I do talk about regret, bitterness, a bad attitude, and fear, and hurt. And, in my mind, all that is suffering. And I do discuss all that. And I also bring you to an awareness of all these things, and even some guilt, maybe perfectionism, and ways that you can move past them and deal with them. You can't really ignore this kind of stuff. You've got to go to the source and fix it first before you can move past it. So I hope in that respect, I'm answering your question. But if not, please ask me again if you want more detail than that. With everything happening to the world, do you think focusing on positivity can be toxic, a little avoidant from reality? Well, yes and no. If you allow it to be, I would say yes. I think personally, I avoid the news. I noticed that when I kept up with it, I was constantly having mental clutter, and it's hard not to be sad and not to have compassion when you see all the suffering in the world. I chose to embrace the people around me and my atmosphere, my environment, and all those that I'm in contact with. And I focus on being positive for the people around me. I can't do a whole lot about some of those things out there. And I'd like to, but I can't. So I thought, well, I can do something with the people around me. There's enough people around us suffering now. So when I started focusing on the people I can help locally, that brings joy to me. And that is a positive way for me to pay forward and just help people out directly. I maybe not indirectly, but it does spread from there. And then those people can influence others and others and others. So I don't look at it as negative. I look at it as, what can I do right here, right now with those around me? And that is a full-time job right there. There is so many things and so many ways that we can positively affect our surrounding environment right now. So I don't think you can have too much positivity. I do think you need to have reality in there, but you can be positive about it. And there are always ways that you can reflect some light into any darkness. There's no way that you can have some total darkness, add a little bit of light. Suddenly it's not all dark anymore. Darkness will never win. So just shed that light, shine it wherever you can in any opportunity. And you don't have to save the world, but just one person at a time, and start with your family and your friends and those around you. That's just wonderful thing. Oh, Julie, you're here today. Thank you so much. I hope you were able to hear my answer. I love your question, and I can see why you asked that. I have so many different things going on my website, and it may be a little confusing. I'm always trying to make it organized enough that you can see what's happening on there. But I love a variety of topics, and I love this crowd today. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Is there any other questions that you have for me out there? And I hope this is being effective somehow. And okay, let's see. True, it can be sad, but we also have to acknowledge the reality that we can't help everyone. The most we can do is pray and hope for a change. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is huge. Praying and hoping for change. I mean, everybody could use prayers, and yes, change is inevitable. It is going to happen, but we do hope that it's in the right way. But how do you ensure you aren't falling into patterns of toxic positivity? Well, I think staying in reality. I'm not quite sure what toxic positivity is, but I would just say, as long as you're grounded, make sure you're grounded. Then I would think you would know you're not overdoing it. If somebody is suffering, we can be positive by being compassionate, by empathizing with them. And I think if you just stay in the reality, you won't be toxic, because you're going to be real. You're going to be authentic. You're going to be genuine. And as long as you're genuine, you won't go into the toxic reality. So I think just being yourself, being compassionate, showing empathy are ways to show positivity, and that you have love for people and you care and want to help them. Do you think routine can be detrimental to success, being too comfortable in life? From Christian. Thank you for this question. Routine. I think it all depends. If it's a good routine, then you've figured it out. But I think there's always room for change. There's always room to learn more. I want to be a constant student. I'm gonna be a student to my grave. I always want to learn more things, and I try to every day learn a little bit more. There's nothing wrong with the routine, but I hope that is injected with more knowledge. I'm open for critique. I'm open to learn new things and new ways of doing things. If you, it is so good to at least listen to the other side of things. You might learn something new and innovative that makes your process work even better. So I would just be open to the possibility of learning something new, because it could be absolutely amazing. So I don't think you can go wrong by just always being open and open-minded and listening to other sides before judging and without being biased. Let's see, you talked about guilt and some other dark emotions. Does the book talk about how you respond to these negative emotions? Yes, Jeffrey, it absolutely does. And I'm holding back on that, because you have to read Elevate Your Mind to Success to find out the answers to those obstacles. But yes, I do talk about how to respond to those negative emotions. Yes, very much. It's very important. And Will Brody, would you recommend a personal inventory for a starting point? Personal inventory. Well, I guess that would, in my mind, but I'm interpreting that as like the programming. If I'm not catching exactly what you're talking about, please let me know. But an inventory would be an awareness of where you currently are and what you're currently doing. And I think that is extremely important, because you can't make changes unless you know exactly what's going on and where you are. So breaking it down and finding out what are your values and what are your beliefs. And those are extremely important in your inventory, because you want to align your new programming with your values and your beliefs. And you want these automatic responses that come back to you to be aligned with your values and beliefs. So absolutely take an inventory and maybe even find out what's not working for you and what is working for you. I want a little more of this and a little less of this. So yes, I would recommend a personal inventory as a good starting point. You have to know what you have before you know what to change, or if you need to change. But yes, very good question. Thank you, Will. I really appreciate your question, and thank you for being here today. All right. Any other questions or comments on either my book or maybe even the website? I'd love to answer these today. How about, let's see, any more comments? Because I can keep rambling on. I think you've seen that already, but I don't want to miss any questions. I wasn't able to get a few in yesterday, and I felt bad about that. I apologize for that. Okay, let's see. How about some past experiences? Sometimes past experiences can, every sentence you speak is a masterpiece in itself. Oh, Betty, oh, I love you. Thank you so much. That is so sweet of you to say that. I appreciate that. So think about your past experiences or any trauma you may have had. These are other obstacles that could block your mind to a positive mindset. So you as Will mentioned, you may want to bring them up again and deal with them. And that is very important, to not put all these things on the back burner and ignore them. Sometimes it's hard to face some of these hurts that we've had in our lives. And I know I was very good at just burying it, pushing it down, not dealing with it. But then it always comes back up. And until you bring it up and deal with it and face it, and even, as I mentioned, challenge it. And by that, you really analyze it and you find out why it's bothering you so much. Why are you hurting from it? Was it something you did? Was it something the other person did? Figure out, and then you've got to make the conscious effort to let it go. You can even visualize letting it go, but you need to face those things and acknowledge, be aware of them, and before even moving past. Wow, I can't believe this time. It goes by so fast. It's like the 30 quickest minutes of my life coming up here. But so today we had a wonderful discussion on different obstacles of a positive mindset. And that was after talking about positive thinking and how we can benefit from it and avoid the negative thinking and deal with what the causes are of this negative thinking. And if you want to find out more ways to resolve these obstacles, you'll have to read Elevate Your Mind to Success to find out more. But take some time to check out my website if you have a chance, www.abookintime.net. And you can explore all kinds of things on there. And you'll see on there that I actually have this as my step 1, Elevate Your Mind to Success. But then I go into a step 2, which is Success is Elemental, because I call it a 3-step process of success. And then step 3 is who connects your dots. So anyway, I want to thank you so much for being here today. I love having you here. I love talking with you, and I appreciate all your comments. They were beautiful. And I love all your questions too. And I hope you'll come back tomorrow. I'm stepping up to the next step 2. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about Success is Elemental and about being positively approachable. So I hope you'll join me tomorrow. And I just really love spending time with you today. So thank you very much for being here. It's been wonderful. I love it.